of the big stories, just how much there is to replace on the defensive side of the ball as you enter spring. What's kind of your message to these guys, having to replace so many guys that probably have NFL careers now? But how do you go about replacing that production?
I mean, that's the nature of college football. I mean, you only have guys for 3 or 4 years as is, so it's hopefully you recruit well, and rather than replace, we use the term reload. And I mean, this unit will be different than last year's unit. It has every opportunity to be just as successful as last year's unit, but I mean, guys have to step up. Guys have new roles. Obviously, up front, we still think we're as good as anybody at the defensive end position. I mean, you've got guys like Kobe Jones and Chauncey Rivers and Fletcher Adams, who played a lot last year, and a guy like Marquise Spencer, who a year ago this time we thought was one of our best players this the entire year. So I mean, he's like signing a free agent. Inside, Lee Autry's a really good player, and I couldn't be more excited to watch a guy like Fabian Lovett or Jaden Crumedy or Kendall Jones is an older guy who's just waited for his opportunity to take advantage of it. So looking forward to watching those guys compete and do their thing. Linebacker should be a strength. I mean, Willie Gay, Leo Lewis, and Errol have played as much football as anybody in this conference, and should give us a good group there, along with Tim Washington, Aaron Brule, and Buki Watson. Our corners are very solid. I mean, Cam will be an upper-level SEC player. Most Smitham was as consistent as any player on the unit last year. And one of the negatives last year was Cole got hurt early, then Landers got hurt, but the positive was that it allowed a lot of people to play. So Brian Cole being back and really not missing much of a beat, looks really good through the first 2 days. Capri is now going to work out at strong safety and is doing a great job and communicating well. And C.J. Morgan, he's limited right now, but what a great last 4 or 5 games he had last year. Marcus Murphy stepping in there has done a really good job for the first 2 practices, and we got junior college guy named Fred Peters, who had an interception today in practice, who's so far has advertised. So it's not so much about the guys that aren't here. I'm just looking forward to working with the guys that are here and developing the identity of the 2019 version of this unit.
How many of the guys who are here, how are you adjusting now with the new assistants on staff?
Yeah, they're great. I mean, certainly, you develop not just professional but personal relationships with people, and the nature of the industry now is that coaches come and go, and it is what it is. I certainly consider Coach Baker and Coach Luca to be great friends, but in the month and a half that I've been on the job with Coach Adams, I've found him to be a great friend and an outstanding defensive line coach. And Chris Marv's someone I've known for almost 10 years now. He was a captain for us at Vanderbilt, one of the best players I've ever coached, and we've always talked about if the opportunity ever presented itself to work together, we'd like that. And literally he's been on the job a week, and for him to be able to do what he's done in a week's time and be caught up to speed with players' names and schemes and the recruiting aspect of things, I think you guys are going to find that he's a pretty special guy.
Did he sweat that much when he was playing in college?
Well, he's a hard worker. He's done a great job. He brings some energy and some passion, and I think the thing that always happens, our players are very resilient, and they've had a significant amount of change on the defensive side of the ball as far as coaches throughout most of these guys' careers. This year just doesn't happen to be at the defense coordinator position, so I think they're just very resilient. And I always tell them, even though change creates anxiety, it also creates a fresh start. It creates a new opportunity, and I think a guy, for instance, like Kendall Jones is taking advantage of that. It's a fresh opportunity for him. At linebacker, there's certainly guys like Tim Washington or Leo Lewis who may desire more reps. It's a fresh start for them to work with a new coach I haven't tried to poison or influence Chris in any way. I want him to make up his own mind, and he and Deke have been a fresh set of eyes and been a really nice breath of fresh air for us as a defensive staff.
How much are you looking for Fred Peters to come in and make an immediate impact from the junior college level?
I mean, hard to say. I don't want to put that much pressure on him. I mean, you don't recruit a junior guy with a thought. You don't recruit a junior college player with the thought that hopefully down the road he'll play. He's very decorated to Jones, player of the year type things, defensive MVP type things, All-American, everything. He's really football intelligent. I mean, he's integrated really well. He's a lot like the personality of a lot of guys on our team. He's a blue collar, got incredible work ethic, family-oriented person. Doing really well in school. Really doing a great job on in meetings, picking things up. It's only been 2 days, neither of which have been in pads. he's picked things up, and like I said, I mean, he's not perfect, you know, but he takes aggressive coaching well. He's John Abrams' cousin, you know, and John, as you guys know, John liked to talk. Fred, on the other hand, is probably as quiet a person as I've been around, and I've really enjoyed getting to know him, and I really think that he has a chance to, you know, really be a solid contributor this year. I'm excited about the thought of him, Capri, CJ, Brian, and Marcus, you know, at that position right there. I think that's a pretty solid group of safeties and nickels.
You mentioned all the veteran experience.